You've tuned into WDG Underground Columbus, home of the Unsigned Arts, and this is Big C in the Morning. This is the Friday morning show that starts your Friday morning off right and your weekend early. And how is everybody doing today? I, for once, am doing okay. I'm doing fine. um, Sleepy, yes. um, but it's because I was tired, as we say. Tired of working and stuff and all that. I've been a working man, and I need my sleep. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden. I haven't been talking to you guys that much already, so I shouldn't be coughing right now. But hey, it's whatever. It's whatever. But anyways, guys, we got two topics today. First topic we're going to talk about is the weather here in Ohio, and then the big topic of the week, the Oscars. So let's start off with the weather here. My gosh, people, what have we experienced? No, seriously, what have we experienced this week in weather? Well, let me look at, the weather. Let's see. Oh yeah, I remember. We've had a 64-degree day on Sunday. Yeah, that was pretty good. 68-degree day on Monday. That was pretty nice. Somehow a 61-degree day on Tuesday, but that was pretty normal. That's pretty normal for a springtime day. And then all of a sudden we decide, hey, well, we didn't decide it, but the weather decided, hey, why don't I just completely mess up everybody's plans on on Wednesday, the 21st, by giving them 3 inches of snow and have the temperatures be freezing cold. And that's what we got. We got freezing cold and snow. And I'm like, it's April. Why? Why does it have. Why do we have to go back to January/February weather? I did not sign up for this. I signed up for warm temperatures, spring like air, and, maybe possible rain showers that don't affect any of my plans. But alas, Mother Nature does not like us. She gave us snow and freezing cold temperatures. That is the weirdest thing I have ever seen. Have it going from, being just straight up spring to going back to winter. Like, it's like we're turning back time. Like, why are we going back to, winter? I don't like winter. I like it when it's winter time in the winter, but not winter time in the spring. It makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense. And seriously, I've been getting the biggest. I was angry. I did not want this. I did not want this at all. Nobody wanted this at all. And then yesterday we had our high was 50 with a low of 30. So yeah, it's it's pretty messed up, man. It's pretty messed up. Like, why in the world do I just have to, experience this again? Why do I have to experience weather all over again? Because it's not fun. I shouldn't have to, experience, weather like this in the middle of spring. Because we have passed winter. We passed winter by a long shot. And, I'm just, upset. I am so upset that you know, I have to ask myself, does does Mother Nature hate us, or is she like on the snooze button? Like, is she snoozing along like shoo shoo? Like, is she snoring? Like, seriously, like, is she asleep? Like, or who's running the weather? Because it it makes no sense. Like, why? Why would that even happen? Like right in the middle of April? Because I did not ask for this. I didn't. Nobody else did. But we got it. So yeah, today is a little bit better. It's gonna be 59, and then the next day it's gonna be 59 again, and then the next day it's gonna be 59 again. So we're gonna have 3 straight days of 59 degrees, and I'm like, wow, that is pretty amazing. And then all of a sudden, like, we're gonna get to 68 on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday are gonna be in the 80s, which means it's gonna be summer on Tuesday and Wednesday. Typically, it's like a typical, um, it's like the spring, but much better because it's spring and summer mixed in together, and you could do a lot of things on those 80-degree days. You can go outside, you can go on a bike ride, you can go on a jog, you could go to the beach, you could do a lot of things. You can honestly do a lot of things. Seriously, you can do anything. Ugh. Man, I'm being tired again. Why do I have to be tired? I'm not trying to be tired, but it just gets me. So yeah, the weather is a weird thing. I don't know how this stuff is, happening. But any stop because I can't handle it. Now, I don't want to be I don't want to be, that sad guy who is like, "Hey, we're going to have very bad temperatures and stuff or whatever." Because that's just sad. So yeah. Now, I'm going to be looking up to next month, which means like May. So, I kind of want to see the temperatures for May cuz I want to see if it's perfectly normal. If it's not, I'm going to be very angry. Okay, so far it's so good. So yeah, I guess May is going to be okay. I mean, we have only one maybe the weather people are predicting, 60, like 260-degree days, and that's fine. My birthday is going to be 72 and sunny. Really? I thought it'd be 72 and rainy, like thunderstorms, and then just the biggest hailstorm you ever seen. But, there's gonna be rain on the 9th, so sorry for people who have birthdays on the 9th. You're gonna have the 9th of May, you're gonna have rain. Oh man, it's gonna be thunderstorm. Oh, they're predicting a thunderstorm on the 13th. Hmm. But, the weather is due to change because sometimes the weather people's predictions can be wrong, but oh well, I guess. But this is AccuWeather. I'm looking on their website right now, and AccuWeather is somewhat right. They get it. They're just like the other weather anchors. This actually brings me to a thing I saw on TV. So okay, so oh man, there was an episode of a really good cartoon. If you haven't heard this cartoon, you've been probably asleep. But there was this cartoon of the Fairly Odd Parents. It's a show on Nickelodeon I used to watch, and like they had an episode where like the weather guy, like every weather guy gets kicked out of the kicked out of town, and by being chased by a angry mob because they got the weather wrong. And I'm like, what if that happened like in real life? The weather guy, getting run out of town for, messing up one single day. Like that would never happen ever. Only in a cartoon would it ever happen. Seriously. Because, if you ask me, if radio people, got run out of town because they mispronounced, a celebrity's name, that wouldn't be right. That seriously. If like me, a radio show gets a celebrity's name wrong or has incorrect facts about that celebrity, and I would, get run out of town, would that even be right? Like, that's not right. You shouldn't run people out of town by getting people, like, celebrities' names wrong. Especially if they're, like, doing a weather report, because sometimes, the radio people also do the radio report, like, when they do, like, the news report on the radio. There's also, like, a weather report and stuff that they do. Especially on WNCI, during their morning zoo show, there's always a news break, and then the person telling the news also tells the weather from like a news station's meteorologist. So yeah, WNCI has NBC4. So imagine if all the people at the morning zoo show got run out of town for, getting the, like, weather wrong. Seriously. Having David Jimmy get run out of town because the weather was wrong, because it was the information that was given to him by, the NBC4 meteorologists. And I'm like, if that were to happen, I'm not saying it would happen. If that were to happen, then wow, that is just sad, man. I mean, nobody should get run out of town for getting the weather wrong. Nobody should do that. It's science. It's a subject that a lot of people hate. I hate science. Why? Because, it's difficult to, do all these scientific equations and scientific studies and stuff. Like, I always had to go to, science class because, science is an important, subject you have to learn in class. You have to have like 3 credits to graduate from high school. And you also have to take it like every year of your elementary school and middle school and high school careers. Well, technically, if you want to do, basically the school's system says, hey, you only had to take 3 credits of science for high school. You could do 4, but it wouldn't matter. But don't worry, I had all my credits, so I'm good. I was good to go. So yeah, high school is somewhat easy. Like the science, it's somewhat easy. Physical science, now that's a whole different story. If physical science was a thing, well, physical science is a thing, but let me tell you something. Physical science, oh boy, I didn't like it. I just did not like physical science. It was a little tough. Now, biology, that was pretty good. But human body systems, wow. Just wow, that was tough. Seriously. Human body systems, if you ever take it, it's tough. But hey, it's free college credit. And I got a free college credit. But the strangest thing is, I didn't know it was a college course till they said, hey, surprise, it's a college course. So yeah, and the strangest thing is, before you, like, this was a class you had to take, like, second in a 2 series. There was a class before you took human body systems. I didn't take that class. It was PBS. I don't know what PBS is. I think it's like pulmonary body systems or public body systems. That's what I thought it was. Public body systems, because I was thinking about mixing body systems and public from PBS, the public broadcasting service, and just it's I don't know what the P stands for in PBS for science, but I think it's pulmonary body systems. That's what I'm thinking it is. If anybody knows what PBS in science stands for, let me know in the comments. Just let me know live here. I don't want to learn stuff or figure out stuff myself, because it's tough. It's very tough. I have been out of like high school for like almost 2 years, and it's great to be out of high school and stuff, and doing my own thing, because it's tough. It's tough. But anyways, back to weather and science. The weather, it's unpredictable. Like, some people are good at predicting stuff. Some good or not. Like, some people are not. But the almanac. I don't know about the almanac. You know, the first. About the almanac. It tells you about the weather. Basically, the first one was called Poor Richard's Almanac by Benjamin Franklin, the guy who discovered electricity somehow. So yeah, basically, Poor Richard's Almanac, or just the Almanac, it's it's a good scientific, book. But how good is it actually? How precise is it really? How is it? Straight up, 100%, no flaws, nothing. Is it or is it not? I don't know. I can barely, multiply stuff, and yeah. I can barely do any, mathematical equation or any, smart thing people do, because some that it's just tough out here, people. Like, imagine what if one of the new Poor Richard's Almanac guy, one of the new Almanac guys, what if they just say oh no, I don't know what to put down on January the 11th. I might as well put down a blizzard, and it will be 15 feet of snow. What if that? What if he wrote down that and it never comes true? It's only just sunny and, I don't know, maybe a few raindrops. Should we should we run the guy who wrote the next year's almanac out of town, or like, seriously? What if those almanacs are not correct? Because you can't, honestly, in my opinion, you can't predict the weather. If you ask me, the weather predicts you. So yeah, and also I've heard about people, moods changing by, um, like, if a person's mood changes, it changes the weather. I don't believe in that, because if that actually did happen, oh boy, there would be thunderstorms and tornadoes like everywhere. Like, there would be a tornado right over there. There would be a tornado right over there. A hailstorm over there. A small thunderstorm over in this area. And then, just whatever is happening in over this area. Because, to tell you the truth, if everybody's mood controlled the weather, there would be a lot of stuff going on, just like everywhere. I mean, the next thing you'll know, probably a giant shark just falls out of the sky for no reason, and it develops a sharknado. And yeah, I did say sharknado. If you haven't seen Sharknado, it's a movie. It's a whatever. It's a movie on that was released by the Sci-Fi Channel. I don't really watch the Sci-Fi Channel because, it's science. I've got better stuff to do than, watch sci-fi stuff. Whatever. So, yeah, basically, um, don't, if a person ever had the power to change the weather with their mood, please don't. It's, it's just it's not gonna do good. It's gonna be crazy. Seriously, if I controlled the weather, some of it will be probably like half of the world would be sunny, and then half of it rainy, or maybe a combination of stuff like rain, snow, sunny, sunny, rain, snow, sunny, sunny. It'd be like a pattern of stuff because I am unpredictable. I can predict about anything. Like, maybe there'll be some rain on Saturday, or maybe some rain on Monday, or uh huh, maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers will win 5 straight games. Maybe, I don't know. But then again, I'm sometimes like off on my predictions. I mean, just look at the Super Bowl this year. I got wrong because I thought Kansas City was going to wall up the Buccaneers, but I was wrong, and yeah, I'm upset. Basically, don't go with. Basically, the moral of that prediction is don't go with what your family is going with. Therefore, I went with my brother's prediction, the Kansas City Chiefs. So don't take family members' predictions. Just take your own prediction. Because if you do, you'll be right 100% of the time. So, yeah. But, sometimes your family might be right predicting the Super Bowl. Sometimes they might not be right. It's just a matter of who does the work better. And that's kind of like how weather is. Like the weather people. Who does the work better? Who puts in like the most work ethic into it? Who puts, the most energy into it and actually predicts it right? If you ask me, whoever should win Weather Person of the Years, who has predicted the weather the most times, and like who is more professional. That's who I think should get Weather Person of the Year, not by a fan vote like of who's the coolest, who is the nicest, because odds are you're probably gonna it's probably gonna end somehow in like maybe a tie or something. I don't know. But yeah. Only the most correct and most professional get the predictions correct. So yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for talking about Ohio weather. I hope nothing scary or nothing weird happens with the weather. So yeah. We're done with weather. And that means we're gonna take our first ever break. Well, first break of the show. So yeah. But when we come back, we're talking about the Oscars. Who do I think will win big, and who do I think will be a possible contender for a shiny golden statue? So stick around. You don't want to miss it. All right, time for our break. You're listening to Big C in the Morning on WUDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist. And now, here's a song by E-Money called Ride and Coast. We'll be right back.
Make a move, I get right to it. I can show you how to do it when I rap. I coast, let the system get the thumping, pulling up. I got it jumping when I rap. I coast, I ain't tripping, I'm just whipping. If it's money, then I'm dipping when I rap. I got this drink up in my cup. I'm on my way to turn it up, now turn it up. Young player, show you what to do now, get money. And y'all on the crew now, get top like a crew neck, no sweat. No games with the numbers like who that? Get money, you know I want it all. Right out when I get them calls. Designer, no flaws. My team, we ball. Them girls, they know that we fly. Hop in the cars when we ride. Coast to the blocks, pouring up shots. Call up beat, rims on top. Hit the Louis store with a big knock. Playing juicy, that's big pop. Stay grinding, don't stop. Next like a leg drop. Bring out the bottles and pull up. Young dream girls, she know us. They hop in and they go nuts. So poker face with no bluff. Haters like hold up. Let me go and roll up. So sick like throw up. Swear when I roll up. Everybody know us when I rap. I coast, make a move, I get right to it. I can show you how to do it when I rap. I coast, let the system get the thumping, pulling up. I got it jumping when I rap. I coast, I ain't tripping, I'm just whipping. If it's money, then I'm dipping when I rap. Got this drink up in my cup, I'm on my way to turn it up, now turn it up. Cruising through my city, looking for a check. Windows down, designer, only staying fresh. Like a ziplock, ain't nobody this hot. Your lips moving, but all I hear is noise like a beatbox. Hit that corner, make Ricky touchdown. Your chicks with us, rock on me, that's P. Diddy. That dirty money is so filthy. Big niggas, they so silly, just know you can't go. Keep winning, keep having dreams and nightmares. I ain't talking nickname. Yeah, and I'm getting it, making sure that paper stick. Hit a lick and I switch the whips. That's a lot of cheese like deep dish. Foreign chicks, yeah, I'm hitting it. She barely speaking English. Cool in, so I'm decent. No handcuffs like prisons when I rap. I coast, make a move, I get right to it. I can show you how to do it when I rap. I coast, let the system get the thumping, pulling up. I got it jumping when I rap. I ain't tripping, I'm just whipping. If it's money, then I'm dipping when I rap. I got this drink up in my cup. I'm on my way to turn it up, now turn it up.
Yo, it's the #1 station for unsigned independent artists right here, WUDG Underground Columbus.
What I like most about the Ohio Media School is the people that I meet. I'm a super social person, so I love meeting people. And if you come here, the people you'll meet will help you out, not just only in school, but after you get out of school. My future, I hope to get out in the industry, make a name for myself. Shout out Rick, shout out T Nasty, shout out J Love. That's it.
back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artists, and you're listening to Big C in the Morning. Now it's time for our second topic of the day, and it's our big topic of today, of this week, or whatever. The Oscars. This Sunday, the Oscars are on this Sunday night, and yeah, it's exciting. It's pretty exciting. So the Oscars were supposed to be in February, but due to COVID-19, it got pushed back to April. So here we are, the 93rd Annual Academy Awards. We are finally here. Who gets to take home a shiny golden statue? So I'm gonna tell you guys who I think is gonna win some of these major categories, and some who might be still have a chance. So basically, I'm gonna give you my top three, and out of that top three, I'm gonna tell you guys who I think is gonna be the definite winner. So yeah. So I'm gonna say Best Picture for last, because that's like the biggest one of them all. So yeah. So first, let's start off with Best Director. So the nominees are Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, Mank is the film with the most nominations. If you want to know what Mank is, it's basically a biographical film about the guy who wrote the screenplay for Citizen Kane, which is a also well-known film. So, again, these five directors are pretty well known and talented. So my top three would be David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, and then Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. And I'm gonna go with Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. She won at the Golden Globes, and I think if you win at the Golden Globes, you deserve to have an Oscar. So Chloe Zhao, I feel like, is going to win Best Director for her film Nomadland. I think in a close second would be Lee Isaac Chung from Minari, and also third would be David Fincher for Mank, or Mank, whatever. I can't, say it right. So I can't. Like, there's some tough titles, tough movie titles to say. But I think it's Mank. Or Mank, whatever. So yeah, whatever. Best Actor. Now this is a good one. We have Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal. Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins for the Father. Gary Oldman for Mank. He played Herman J. Mankiewicz. So yeah, Gary Oldman is the guy who is Mank. He's the screenwriter. And then you got Steven Yeun for Minari as Jacob Yi. There are a lot of good performances, especially, with, Anthony Hopkins. He's been around for a long time. Same goes as Gary Oldman, Chadwick Boseman, and Steven Yeun. He's been around for a long time because he was on, The Walking Dead, and he's not on that show anymore. Excuse me. So I think my top three. I know Gary Oldman's already won an Oscar, so I don't think they would pick him as the winner of the Academy. I'm gonna go with the top three would be Riz Ahmed, Steven Yeun, and Chadwick Boseman. And I think Chadwick Boseman will win the Oscar, even though he's already passed away. I still think he'll win it like after he's passed away. I forget that big word. Post. It's post something. Post. It's a hard word. I had to take that water break because I was about to cough. Oh, excuse me. I took a water break during the music break, so yeah. Don't know why, but it somehow happened. Best actress. We have Viola Davis in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Andra Day in the United States versus Billie Holiday. Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman. Frances McDormand in Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan in Promising Young Woman. Again, another good group of nominees. Top three, I think, would be Viola Davis, Andra Day, and Frances McDormand. And I think Viola Davis has a good shot to win. Excuse me. So I'm going with Viola Davis to win Best Actress. Andra Day will be second, Frances McDormand third. And for Best Actor, I know Chadwick Boseman would be first. Riz Ahmed would be second, and then Steven Yeun third. But those guys, Riz Ahmed, Chadwick Boseman, Steven Yeun, they all have a good shot to win. And Viola Davis, Andra Day, and Frances McDormand, those three, they have a good shot to win. So those are the top three I have a good shot to win, but I think Viola Davis will win. So, yeah. Viola Davis will win Best Actress. Best Supporting Actor. We got Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of the Chicago 7. Daniel Kaluuya, sorry if I butchered the name, for Judas and the Black Messiah. Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami. Paul Raci for Ratchy for Sound of Metal. And Lakeith Lee Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. Okay, so I think it will be a battle between, like, the top three would be Daniel Kaluuya. Sorry if I butcher the name again. Leslie Odom Jr. and Sacha Baron Cohen. And I think Daniel Kaluuya is going to win. Daniel Kaluuya. I definitely believe he's going to win Best Supporting Actor. So that's my pick. Leslie Odom comes in a close second, and then Sacha Baron Cohen in third place. Now let's move on to Best Supporting Actress. Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film, which I'm quite shocked. That movie had 2 Oscar nominations. That movie actually has 2 Oscar nominations, and somehow they're in the Oscars. Glenn Close, Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman, The Father, Amanda Seyfried in Mank, and Yeon Young Jung, sorry if I butcher the name again, for Minari. Okay, I think my top 3 would be Glenn Close, Amanda Seyfried, and Yoon Young Jung. Sorry if I butcher the name. But I think it's going to be I think it's gonna be Yoon Young Jung, and again, sorry if I butcher their name. Who will win Best Supporting Actress? So yeah, that's my pick, and Glenn Close will probably come in second, and Amanda Seyfried third. A Best Original Screenplay. We have Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Now, all these are good films. I heard Judas and the Black Messiah was an amazing film. I haven't seen it yet. I kind of want to see it. Because it looks really interesting. And, Minari is a pretty good film. Heard from a lot of, critics. And, especially The Trial of the Chicago 7. That's actually a film I actually wanted to see along with Judas and the Black Messiah. Because there were a lot of good movies out here, folks. But top three, I think it would have had to be The Trial of Chicago 7, Minari, and Judas and the Black Messiah. And I think it will be a very close battle between Trial of the Chicago 7 and Judas and the Black Messiah. And I'm going to call this a toss-up between those two, Trial of the Chicago 7 and Judas and the Black Messiah. Minari will come in third, but that's a toss-up. Because Judas and the Black Messiah and the Trial of the Chicago 7, they are a pretty good, those two films are pretty good, and I think it's going to be up to the foreign film press or the Academy to, decide on who wins that. So yeah. Best Adapted Screenplay, Borat's subsequent movie film, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. Now, oh boy. This is a very, very tough one. Well, this is not gonna be a tough one. I think Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and Borat. Yes, I'm saying Borat subsequent movie film will be in the top three. But don't worry, Borat is not gonna win. The one that will go and win is probably Nomadland. Because, Chloe Zhao, she's a great director, and she's also a great screenplay writer, and she adapted the screenplay from the book Nomadland into the film, so I think Chloe Zhao will get her a second Oscar for that adapted screenplay. I also heard she was going to be directing a superhero movie for Marvel called Eternals, so that'll be interesting what Chloe Zhao has for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I would love to see what she's going to do on that movie for Eternals. That's another blockbuster film you should look out for, Eternals. It's supposed to come out in 2021, so yeah. I like all the Marvel Cinematic Universes, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I think they're really well directed, and I bet Chloe Zhao will continue the tradition of great directing on these Marvel films. So yeah. Best Animated Feature Film, Onward, which is a Disney movie, Over the Moon, which is another animated movie, a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, Soul, and Wolfwalkers. Now, I'm supposed to pick a top three here, but there's only a top two, and it's Onward and Soul. And I believe Soul's going to win it because it's Disney. And Disney has been on a winning streak of winning a lot of Oscars for Best Animated Feature Film. But surprisingly, they didn't win the first one. Because shockingly, they got upset by DreamWorks with Shrek. Because Shrek actually won the first ever Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film. And like the other two nominees were Monsters Inc., which was made by Disney, and then Jimmy Neutron, which was made by Nickelodeon. Now, I actually have all three films. I have Jimmy Neutron, I have Monsters Inc., and I have Shrek. I have all three of the original nominees for the 2001 Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film. So yeah, Best Animated Feature Film, it's going to go to Soul for this year, 2021. Oh, you know what's crazy? I think this is the 20th anniversary of that category being created. So, neat. But this will be like the 21st one being given. So, like, 21st trophy for this animated feature film. And I think the person who got the 20th award, I think it was the Spider-Man movie, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie, which that was pretty good. It deserved that Oscar. Okay, so Best Documentary Feature: Collective, Crip Camp, The Mole Agent, My Octopus Teacher, and Time. I'm gonna go top three. Collective, The Mole Agent, and Time, and I think Time will get the Oscar. Let's see. Excuse me. I want to see for best short film. Is there a category for best short film? No. Okay, so I'll go with best animated short film, and then we'll go for best picture. So best animated short film: Burrow, Genius Loci, If Anything Happens, I Love You, Opera, and Yes People. I think I'll go with, I'm not going to do a top three for the short film. So I'm going to go with the winner, If Anything Happens, I Love You. I think that one will win Best Animated Short Film. And now it's time for Best Picture. So we have The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Women, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. Top three would be Judas and the Black Messiah, Nomadland, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. A lot of these films deserve Best Picture, but unfortunately, I have to pick one, and I'm gonna pick Nomadland to win Best Picture. So that is my pick for Best Picture, Nomadland to win Best Picture. And you guys can make your own predictions for the Oscars if you just print out the nominees and then circle who you think has the best chance to win. You might have a bunch of winners. So yeah, that's kind of what I do. I just predict the winners and see if I'm right. It's kind of like a little fun game at home. It's kind of like, those it's kind of like predictions on like sports and stuff, except it's the Oscars. So yeah. Also, before we end this subject, there's some trailers you should look out for. Steven Spielberg's West Side Story there's gonna be a trailer on that during the Oscars. Also, Lin-Manuel Miranda has a trailer for his new movie In the Heights. It's a musical film. And also Questlove, he has a documentary film that's going to be coming out this year called Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. So three movies with three great directors having their trailers come out during the Oscars. So you want to stay tuned for those trailers, because I heard like West Side Story is going to be interesting, and then Summer of Soul also interesting, and In the Heights pretty amazing. So yeah, definitely watch those trailers during the Oscars Sunday night on ABC. So it's going to be very interesting on Oscar Sunday to see who wins. So yeah, good luck to all who has been nominated. Hopefully you get a golden statue. A very expensive golden statue. I wonder actually how much an Oscar costs. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Alright, time for our second break, our final break of today. But when we come back, a Friday shout out. Yep, Friday shout out's back, and I'm shouting out some people. So stick around. You're listening to Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist. And now here's C with Emotion featuring Delvin. We'll be right back.
What up, though? It's your man's MC JR, and I got one question. Are you rocking with my new joint Question Mark featuring Cap G right here on UndergroundColumbus.com?
are back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the Let me redo that. We're back on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist, and this is Big C in the Morning. And now, before I get into the Friday shout out, I forgot there were 2 comments, and they were from my grandmother. And oh boy, I can't wait to see these. She said, "Please try to keep your hands away from your mouth." My mouth is clean, Grammy. I've always brushed my teeth and stuff. So, yeah, and a lot of people do this. Besides, they're trying to think. It's a way to think, and sometimes, you gotta stop the bad breath from ruining the mic, am I right? But my breath is freshly clean, so it wouldn't harm the mic at all, so yeah. But anyways, guys, it is time for the Friday shout-out. So, about a couple weeks ago, or maybe in a month, let's say a month ago, I joined this little bracket challenge that was set up by a show here at Ohio Media School. It's on the Score on Air network called the Buckeye. Well, it's not the Buckeye. It's the Buckeye Bro Show. And they had this little bracket challenge saying, hey, whoever does the best in our bracket challenge will win a trophy. I'm like, oh, I want that trophy. I want that trophy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try my best, and I might not get the trophy, but hey, at least I'll have fun. And after, many upsets in March Madness, many things happening in, March Madness and stuff, the championship was here. Gonzaga lost, but hey, that was okay because it was determined in a tiebreaker to see who would win, and I had the closest score. I had Gonzaga winning by 6, while the Mighty Huff while the other bracket called the Mighty Huff had Gonzaga winning by 11. So they went to see who was the closest, and I was the closest, and I won the first ever The Buckeye Bro Show Bracket Challenge. I am the first ever champion. And they say they will return, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And I got my trophy, I got all that stuff, and I cannot wait for next year. So yeah. So I want to shout out to the Buckeye Bros. King Buckeye and Hot Wheels, Travis Napper. As you know, me and Hot Wheels, we were classmates in our cohort, and yeah, it was great. It was great. And I am humbled to have won their first ever bracket challenge thing. I just want to congratulate all the all my competition who've truly exceeded in their bracket picking. There are a lot of good picks. Some were not okay, but hey, they were good. Congratulations to my my competition in the championship game, the Mighty Huff. He put on a great performance, and I just like to congratulate Travis and King Buckeye on a really well-run tournament challenge. Honestly, those guys, they put on a tournament, a challenge worthy of a sports fan. Many sports fans like me. And the reason, and I wore my Undisputed National Champions hat today because, I felt like an Undisputed National Champion when I won the bracket challenge. So, yeah. And I'm shouting out King Buckeye and Travis Napper because, I won their challenge, and they announced me as their winner and showed off a picture of me on their last show last night. Which means, if you guys like Buckeye things and Buckeye stuff, football, basketball, anything Buckeye related, go check out their show on Score on Air Network on Facebook. Their show airs every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to check out the Buckeye Bro Show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on the Score on Air Network. So, yeah, shouting out to the Buckeye Bro Show. That's this week's Big C in the Morning Friday shout out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. Right now, currently, it is 11:02, or it's possibly 11:03. I don't care. Because, delays and, live streams, so yeah. But anyways, thank you all for watching and tuning in. So next week, we're going to have 2 new topics, and we'll talk about them. If I can find out what is worthy of talking about. So yeah, I got to come up with 2 new topics, 2 new informative topics. But don't worry, everything will be all good. So yeah, again, thank you all for tuning in. And I'll see you all next week. And let me do this. This has been Big C in the Morning on WDG Underground Columbus, home of the unsigned artist. My name is Big C. 2021, the Buckeye Bro Show Bracket Challenge Champion. And I am out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you again for watching. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. And try to enjoy the weather next week, because it's going to be warm. It's going to be warm. Woo! So, yeah, guys. See y'all next week.